Contrast what Imelda Marcos says and how it differs from what others say and the pieces of evidence presented. There are a lot of things Imelda Marcos said throughout the documentary that was way too different from what other people said. First, when she said she had a happy marriage life and she can't even remember something sad, but the truth is that the late Ferdinand Marcos Sr. cheated on her with a lady named Dovie Beams, and that was caught through a recording tape. Second, when she said that the Kalawit Island is not inhabited, that's why it is okay to send those animals from Africa to Kalawit Island. But according to the resident of that island, they were forced to leave the place so that the people will be placed by the animals. She also said that during the martial law, there was freedom, but according to the journalist and activist, martial law was very traumatizing. They were tortured and a lot of people was killed. So the words of Imelda Marcos were counteracted by the voices of many people. What role did Imelda Marcos play during Marcos governance? Her role was being the First Lady of the Philippines, and since ex-President Ferdinand Marcos was afraid to leave the country, he made her wife as the surrogate president. Ferdinand Marcos also appointed Imelda to be a Minister of Human Settlement, which allowed her to construct the Philippine Heart Center and more. A year later, in March 1966, Marcos established the Cultural Center of the Philippines through Executive Order No. 60 and arranged for Imelda to be elected as the chairman of the board. She became the chairman of the board in Cultural Center. In the middle of 1967, Imelda Marcos started a seed dispersal program, a project that suggested making vegetable gardens out of idle lots all over the country. How lavish were the lives of the Marcoses? Their lives, especially Imelda, was nothing short of opulence. She was known for possessing 3,000 pairs of shoes. If her name is brought up in another country, it would be quickly linked to her extravagant collection. She said it herself as well. She will get what she wants. And from the interview done in The Kingmaker, her furnitures and frames screamed money no normal family could afford. They can travel wherever they wanted, and her late husband Ferdinand Marcos even gifted her the build of San Juanico Bridge. They even own buildings in New York. She's living a fairy tale dream. When it comes to materialistic possessions, she never lacking. Their family doesn't. Marcos' regime spanned 20 years and become increasingly authoritarian and corrupt during their administration. What does the documentary say about the ill-gotten wealth of Marcoses? It says that the amassing of supposed ill-gotten wealth by the former president, that the Marcoses' asset was legally declared by. The case involves the 200 billion worth of funds and properties. The documentary gave spotlight on two sides about the said ill-gotten wealth of the Marcoses. Imelda claimed that it came from her husband's multiple businesses, while the people believe that it came from the money of the people. Andy Bautista, the ex-chairman on the Commission of Elections, weighs in the estimated $5 to $10 billion the regime plundered, and about Imelda hiding Picasso paintings after he returned to avoid them being seized.